Hi friends, welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. Today is the first of the month. Oh my goodness. And we have a fun challenge for you. I'll let you know more about that in a few minutes. So with all of that being said, let's get to crafting. Okay, DIY number one. So I have this 14-inch wood round from Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to paint it with Waverly chalk paint in the color Ocean, but I'm only going to go about halfway. Now, if you don't have one of these wood rounds from Hobby Lobby, you could definitely do this on a smaller scale. Probably do this on a smaller scale with the Dollar Tree rounds. After I had that part painted, while it was still wet and I did not clean my brush, I took Waverly chalk paint in the color Dusk and started going over the next bottom part. And I go about a quarter of the way down. And after I had that done, I took Waverly chalk paint in the color Pool. I guess I went more than a quarter there. Anyways, I added that pool to the bottom and then just kind of blended it in with the Dusk color, just like I did. I blended the Dusk color in with the Ocean to just kind of bring it all together, and I just kept doing that until I was happy with what I saw. Then I had this flower from Dollar Tree. It was $3.99. It was 40% off when I got it, but now they are 50% off, and I said Dollar Tree, I meant Hobby Lobby. But I'm going to fill in the hole with spackling, and then I'm going to paint it with my Waverly chalk paint in the color Maze. Now I'm only painting the back side of it, not the front, because we're going to use the back side. So then I was like, okay, I want this to look like a sunshine or a sun. So I am taking my Waverly chalk paint in the color Pumpkin, and I'm just kind of going around it, where the petals meet the middle. And then I went around each petal with it. But I was like, okay, this is too bright. And I was kind of feeling like it looked a little more like a sunflower, which I was trying to make it look like a sun. So after I had it all done, and I'm going to actually add some of the streaks in the middle too. And I think this is where I was like, okay, that makes it look more like a sunflower, at least in my mind. So I took some of my Maze by Waverly again, and I'm just going to go over the orange, all over the orange, just to soften it up so it wasn't so bright. Once I was done, I found this design on Cricut Design Space, and so I printed it out on my Frisco stencil vinyl that's in my Amazon store, and I am going over that with my Waverly chalk paint and the color ink. Once it was all dry, I removed all my vinyl, removed all the little pieces inside of my words here, and after that, I made this simple. I'm just going to use my Titebond Quick and Thick Multi-Surface Glue, and I'm going to put it on the back. Now, I was thinking about trying to remove that middle piece so it laid flat, but I decided I didn't want to work that hard. So I just glued that on. Then I took some different ribbons that I had. Now I'm going to crisscross these. These are a little wider than the other ones. So I decided to just crisscross these first and then start adding the other ones on top of it and just crisscrossing. And then once I was done, I took some twine and I'm going to tie it around all of those ribbon pieces. Now I cut those ribbon pieces down to, I think it was either 4 or 5 inches. And then I'm going to tie it real tight. I'm just kind of trying to move them around there. Once I had it tight, I just shook it. I shook it like Oliver shakes his toy. And that just really helped fluff it up. And then I just trimmed off the twine in the back, and I'm just going to glue it right to the front. And then it didn't, these wood rounds don't have hanger holes, so I'm going to use my Big Mouth Crocodile to create those hanger holes. That's also in my Amazon store, which the link is in the bottom if you're interested. I love that thing. And then I'm just going to add some twine through those holes and tie knots on the back at the length that I wanted it. And that's all I did for this. I love it. As you can see, I did the same thing to the back as I did the front. Just kind of wanted to have that fun look. Oh, I forgot. I added a little daisy to the middle of my bow. What screams sunshine and brightness more than a daisy, right? Anyways, I just added that there, and I love how this came out. I wasn't quite sure how it was going to come out, but I absolutely love this. I hope you do too. You have to let me know in the comment box below. Okay, so today is the first of the month, and we have the first of the month challenge, and this month's theme is sweet summertime. So we're doing everything summer, and I host this on the first of every month with my sweet friend Gwen, who is just amazingly talented. So make sure you check her out if you haven't already, and the playlist. I'll have links to both of them in the description box below. Okay, here's DIY number 2. I have one of these hearts from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to remove the tag and the hanger, and I'm going to paint it red. Now, I kind of got this idea from Tammy with Happiness Created. She used this heart to make some Patriot decor, and she used fabric in there. And so I kind of got this idea from her, but also just thinking about I could make a heart to look like a strawberry because I've done that before. So as you can see, I took some cardboard and I cut it out, and then I'm going to go over the top of it with tacky glue. And after that, I took some fabric that I had bought recently. I wanted to use this for patriotic, but I thought this would be perfect for a strawberry. So I got this at Walmart, and I just cut it down, and then I put it on my heart there, made it sure it was all nice and smooth. And then I'm just going to trim off all the excess with my scissors there. And after I had it all trimmed, I'm going to try and put it in my heart, but I cut the cardboard just a tad too small. So I thought, okay, what can I do? So I just grabbed the cardboard group, made a little bit bigger heart, and I'm just going to use my Titebond glue here, and I'm going to glue it to the back of this heart. And this worked out perfectly. So once I had that done and it was dried, I'm going to add my Titebond glue to the inside of my heart. I'm going to add that fabric heart to the middle piece, just like that. And it was perfect. Then I'm going to take a little embossing tool. I'm going to dip it in my Waverly chalk paint in the color Snow White. And I'm going to go over the top of each one of those little beads. Then I'm going to take some leaves. These come off those little mini rose bushes from Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going to start gluing them to the top. And oh my goodness, the minute I had this part done, I was like, oh, it's perfect. It really makes it look like a strawberry. I don't know. I just love this one. Anyways, I'm going to glue 4 leaves on, and then I took the very top part that normally has some roses on it, and I'm just going to cut that off of that pick, and then I'm going to turn it upside down, and I'm going to glue it upside down so that it looks like a stem at the top. And oh my goodness, this is just so adorable. Anyways, I took these are actually Jenga blocks that I got from, I think it was Corrine. And I'm going to glue them to the back. One wasn't, it was still a little wobbly, so I decided to go ahead and make it a little wider, and I added 2. I do end up painting it later, painting the back of it, the whole thing red. And then once I was done with that, I took some of these stickers from Dollar Tree. Now I was trying to figure out, okay, how do I want this to lay? And then I thought, wait, it's going to be sideways, so we don't want it to, we want to be able to read it, right? So I laid it, my strawberry heart sideways, and then just started adding my stickers from Dollar Tree. Now these stickers, I don't really trust the adhesive. They're not very strong. I should have just put a little bit of Mod Podge down on the fabric first and then lay these all out. But once I had them all done, I did go over them with some Mod Podge and just kind of made a really thick coat over them, hoping that the Mod Podge also seeps underneath them and that they stick better. So hopefully they stick okay. They seem to be sticking really good. And there it is. Oh my goodness. I love how this came out. I think it's adorable. I hope you do too. Let me know what you think in the comment box below. Here we are, you guys, June 1st. We are halfway through the year. Oh my goodness. I am so excited though. We are pretty much out of, well, 2 more weeks, and they say middle of June, we're pretty much clear for tornado season. So I'm very excited about that, but it's been a pretty mild season. Keeping my fingers crossed that it stays that way for the rest of the year. But we're into summer, and I know we have a few weeks before it's officially summer, but I am excited. We got our pool open, and at the end of this video, I'll have a video of Oliver. We got the pool open. My stepson was taking the cover off, and this little guy, I was cracking up. I didn't get this part recorded, but he was right there at the edge of the pool looking for his arch nemesis. And if you haven't been around for a while, or haven't seen some of my summer videos, he has this love-hate relationship with our pool cleaner, and it's the funniest things that we call it his arch nemesis. And he was definitely looking for it, but what happens is he likes to chase it when it's cleaning. He just likes to watch it, and whenever it gets into the shallow area, usually it has like this little tail behind it, and it pops out of the water, and when it does, it squirts him in the face, and he gets all riled up and on attack mode, and it's just the funniest thing. I'll try and usually I get a video of it every summer and share it. But we have a little video of, I don't think this one had it getting his face. I don't remember, but I did get him watching it. So that will be at the end of this video. So stay tuned for that, because it's a lot of fun to watch him. But anyways, we got it open. It's almost ready to go swimming, although I don't think the water's quite warm enough yet, but it's getting there. It just means that summer is right here, right around the corner, and I'm excited about that, because you guys, if you've been around a while, you know I just love the heat, the warmth, the summertime. Anyways, I'm glad you are here. I hope you are enjoying this playlist. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Brenda, and this is my sweet Oliver. And if you're returning, you guys are just amazing, and I love you from the bottom of my heart, and I appreciate you guys always showing up for me. So before we go, make sure you check your subscriptions, because I see my numbers up and down, up and down. It'll go up 5, it'll go down 5, it'll go up 5, it'll go down 1, it will go down 4. It's just crazy. So make sure you check out your subscriptions. Make sure you're still subscribed. And if you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure you give me that thumbs up, comment, hype this video, share it with anyone you think might enjoy it. And then again, if you're new, I would love it if you'd hit that red subscribe button and become part of our YouTube family as well. So with all that, I'm going to quit chit-chatting, and we're just going to continue on with the video. Okay, DIY number 3. So I have a 12 by 12 square wood sign from Dollar Tree. I'm going to take my painter's tape, and I'm going to tape it diagonally across my sign. And then I'm going to paint the top part with my Waverly chalk paint in the color Maize, and the bottom with Snow White. You guys, this one I'm not completely happy with. I had great hopes for this one, and oh my goodness, I kind of ruined it. Once it was dry, I took my Mod Podge and I put it all over the bottom part. I'm just gonna brush that all in, just like you see me doing. And then after it was dry, oh, I guess I'm still brushing. I don't know why I showed you all this. Once it was dry, I took this napkin that I got from Dollar Tree, and I just thought it was perfect because it has all kinds of summer stuff on it. But their napkins are really, I don't know if anybody else has this napkin. Let me know if yours is doing the same thing, but it's almost like it's got a strip of glue down about quarter of the way from the top. And I was trying to get that napkin or the ply back off of it. And it was it was ripping, and I was just I was having to be very careful trying to take it off. But it was really weird. So anyways, once I had it done, I'm going to take my napkin here, and I'm just going to line it up with where the two colors meet there. And then I'm going to, once I had it there, I covered it with my parchment paper to protect that napkin, went over it with my heat press to reactivate that Mod Podge. And I love doing this technique because it really does eliminate your wrinkles. And then after that was done, you can see when I pull up the parchment paper, it kind of sticks a little bit to the right side. That's because it's sticking to the Mod Podge. And so that's why you got to be really careful if you're doing something like this, that you don't stick stuff to your Mod Podge. Anyways, I added another part of that napkin, and then I just did the same thing to cover it. And then I trimmed it all down, and I went over it with a little bit of Mod Podge. You don't want to use a lot on your brush when you do this, otherwise it will cause the napkin to wrinkle or bubble, which usually happens with lower quality napkins. Well, with higher qualities, but more so with lower quality. I then, once it was dry, I sanded off all the excess, and then I had this sign in my stash from Hobby Lobby, and want to paint half of it yellow and half of it white. Yeah, I think that's what I did. Yeah, the bottom part yellow. And I'm just going to use a brush to paint all over it. I'm not going to show you the whole thing. Probably showed you more than I should have, but there it is. And then after I had all the little nooks and crannies painted and it was dried, I moved my tape to cover the yellow, and then I'm going to paint the top of it white. Now this looked pretty cute. It was kind of hard to read. And so after it was all painted and dried, I laid it against my sign. I'm like, it's kind of hard to read. So I had this idea. So I'm going to take Mod Podge and I'm going to go all over the top of the white part. And then once that was dry, I took this napkin that also came from Dollar Tree and kind of was sticking as well to the backing. And I'm going to add it to the top part of my sign. And it was looking really cute. And so once I had that all done, I trimmed off the excess. I added some more, made sure that the colors were in the same sequence. And then I laid it out, covered it, did the same thing. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to use my lighter technique. This is where I should have just not been lazy and I should have just sanded it down because this part actually went okay. But after this, I cut little slits in between the letters where it didn't burn, and I was using my lighter, and I think because my fan was going on, it was causing just tons of burn marks all over the letters, the front of the letters, which was fine because I knew I could paint over it, but also in front of the napkin, as you can see there. And it looked horrible. And I even tried using a baby wipe to kind of wipe some of it off, which made me rip some of the napkin. So I had to add a little piece of the napkin back to it. And I was just like, this looks horrible. I was so upset. And so I thought, okay, well, what am I going to do? So after I tried touching it up some and wiping it like I was doing, I decided, okay, well, maybe I can cover some of that with black ink. Or I ended up doing paint. I outlined it with some black paint, which isn't the best because it's not the straightest outlines, which I hated. My husband thought it looked fine. I hated it. But anyways, I was done with it. So I took my Type Bond glue and I'm just gluing it on. Oh, I guess I haven't done it. That's the other problem. I should have done it before I glued it on. After I glued it, that's when I decided I'm going to try with my marker, but it was just with my brace on my hand and just with it being glued onto the sign, it was really hard to do it with that marker. So I thought, oh, forget this. Let's just get the paintbrush out. And so then I got my small paintbrush with my Waverly chalk paint in the color ink and outlined the letters. And I was just like, oh, I don't like this. This looks so bad. And I guess when I look at the pictures, it's not as bad as I think it looks, but it's not what I had pictured in my mind. And I'm not happy with it. So anyways, but you'll see here in the final reveal, far away it doesn't look as bad, but up close I don't like it. Anyways, I took some burlap. This is from burlap that I got from Hobby Lobby. I don't even know how long I cut it, but I glued the two ends together. And then I took this ribbon. I'm cutting it down to 16 inches, but I end up cutting it shorter than that. And it's probably more like 12 inches, which is what I started with at the beginning, and I added more. But anyways, it was just too big and didn't look right. So after I had those cut, I'm going to glue them end to end. I cut a third piece that was at 6 inches. And then I'm going to take my burlap here. I'm going to scrunch it up in the middle to look like a little bow. And then after I cut I'm going to tie some twine around it to hold it in place. And after that, I'm going to make my bows with my yellow ribbon. And this is after I'd cut it down. I just scrunch them up in the middle, put one on top of the other and do the same thing, scrunch it up in the middle. And I'm going to take my third piece, which is going to be the tail, and I'm going to put that behind it. And then once I have that behind it, I'm going to add my twine around that and tie that together. And then I'm going to, once that's tied together and secured, I'm going to tie it around the burlap bow. And after that, I'm going to trim off that twine and dovetail the ends, which is fold your ends together, cut at an angle. And then I'm going to glue it to the corner of my sign because I felt like it was just too blank on the top part, needed something else. Added my hanger, and there it is. Oh my goodness, what a job I had on this one. You'll have to let me know what you think as well. It started out great. I don't know. Okay, it is a time for a celebration of your recreations. And we have a lot because I didn't have my video on Thursday. So Renee, she has been so busy. She's got herself a little booth now. So she's been busy creating stuff. These are a lot of her signs and stuff. And look at all these fun things that she's created too. I love that cross and that birdhouse. Oh my goodness, they're all very cute, Renee. Thank you so much for sharing them. And then we have Maria. I love it. Her little flag sign. It is lovely. You did a wonderful job, Maria. Thank you so much for sharing that one. And then we have Corrine. Look at this beautiful wreath that she made. Oh my goodness. It is beautiful, Corrine. Great job. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And then we have one more. We have Marie. And look at her bird bath. I love it. It is so adorable. Great job, Marie. Thank you so much for sharing that. And if you have something that you've created that you would like me to showcase, you can email pictures to rusticandlacediy@gmail.com, or you can also send them to me through Instagram or Facebook Messenger if you'd like. Okay, DIY number 4. So I have 2 of these half rounds from Walmart. Now, if you don't want to get these from Walmart, they're not very much, they're only a couple dollars, but you could always take a wood round like Dollar Trees and cut it in half. But I'm just taking my ruler and I'm marking a line that's a 1/2 inch from the bottom all the way around. And then after I had that all marked, I'm going to paint it with Waverly chalk paint in the color Fern. You could use any kind of dark color green that you have if you want to recreate this. But I'm just being very careful to just go along that line. And then you can't see it here, but I do the top section of it as well. Then I took my ruler and I go about 1/4 of an inch. So about a 1/4 of an inch above. No, not a 1/4 of an inch above, but just a 1/4 of an inch from the line of that I just did. I hope that makes sense. And then I took Waverly chalk paint in the color Celery and I went along that line. And then I think I'm going to show you here. I'll do the top as well. Nope. Yep. There we go. And then after that, I took Waverly chalk paint in the color Crimson and I went all around the front part of this. And I painted the very back of them with the Fern color. Then I took a white paint marker and I'm just drawing it along where the light green, the celery, and the red meet. And then I'm taking my black paint marker and I'm going to make seeds. Now I'm just going to make seeds going all along the edge there by the rind. If you wanted to do it, you could make seeds all over the middle. It doesn't matter, whatever you like. And once I had my seeds done, and I did this on 2 of my halves, I took my white marker and just made some little shadow accents. Then I took 9, I think, tumbling tower blocks. I'm only painting the sides and the front with my Fern color because you're not going to see the rest of it. So after I had all 9 painted, and I'm going to show you one last time, I guess, because, no one knows how to paint blocks, right? I'm going to take my Titebond glue. I laid them all out to make sure they are all placed where I wanted them. And then I'm just going to take my Titebond glue and glue them on all in place. I like using the Titebond for this because it takes a few minutes to dry. So if you need to move them around, you have a little time to do that. And then after I have those all on, I'm going to put Titebond all across the top of it. And then I'm going to add my other half or watermelon half to that. Now, if you want to recreate this, you might want to make it a little thicker, wider. I could have added another set of tumbling tower blocks on top of those to make it deeper. I originally was going to use the bigger blocks, but they were too long for this. So then I just filled it up with some little floral plants that I got from Hobby Lobby. And then we have this cute little watermelon planter. I just think this would be so much fun to have out for this summertime. I just love how this came out as well. I hope you do too. Here is the final reveal. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun making this. I plan on having a video on Thursday this week. I don't know, this week's a little topsy-turvy, but I'm working really hard to get one done. Make sure you check out Gwen's channel and her video and the playlist for all kinds of summer inspiration. And with all of that, I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye. Are you gonna get it? Are you gonna get it? It's stuck there again. There it goes. Get it, Oliver. Get it.
I've got to figure out something in these corners here.
Get it, Oliver. Get it. Get it. Get it. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? He's like, come on, Dad. Aren't you going to pull it out or something so I can attack it? Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
He's just way too happy.
Yep.